Two friends, two minds, and one love for Arsenal Football Club. You are now listening to the Cod and Two Minds podcast.
You damn right.
Excuse me. I would just like to say that it's been suggested that we represent our podcast the way that the team played that week, so we should have a nice professional podcast, straight late. Hey, yeah, I'm happy.
Who would have thought? You know, who would have thought? 0-0 draw at the bridge. No Ozil, no Sanchez. I mean, come on.
Just really, I'm happy like Hennessy in my coffee cup right now.
Oh, wow. Little Hennessy, little coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real savage. What's it like? It's 10 a.m. What?
Yeah, it's 10 a.m.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
I'm real happy.
We deserve it. Go ahead.
I'm real happy. They played real professional, solid game. Held their shape well. The tactics matched. I did have some questions about the lineup originally, but then when I saw the tactics, I'm gonna have to say Wenger did pretty good job.
Yes, my first thought when I saw the lineup was like, here this fool goes, leaving the door open for criticism. And oh gosh, what's he thinking? Not starting Sanchez.
Yeah.
And as far as Ozil, I don't really know what's going on with that. I've heard a few things, but the fact is, they didn't play. We won at the bridge, and the team performed. It was just a professional, composed. Everybody was tactically aware, especially the back four, in particular, the wing backs. I thought Bellerin played really responsible today, and so did Blockhead. Picking and choosing when to push forward, but for the most part, staying back. So yeah. I mean, you got to give Wenger credit. When credit is due. And this is all we wanted as fans.
Sure.
Even if we had somehow lost this game on maybe something unlucky happening, you can't complain, or you really wouldn't be disappointed, because you saw the team were prepared to start the game. The intensity was there. We matched their physicality. A lot of Chelsea players were falling down on the ground, complaining, looking for calls, and it wasn't us this time. So, hats off for Wenger for having the team ready to play. And as fans, that's all we want.
Yep. Yep. There's so many critics out there, so I'm curious what their take is going to be on this game. I got a good feeling it's going to be Chelsea underperformed, and possibly they may even pick at him a little bit for his lineup choice. Typically Chelsea has kind of physically dominated Arsenal when they beat him, and he went with a lineup that was kind of light in the ass. I found that as a positive for us when I saw Kolasinac was on the pitch and stuff like that, and I even made note at one point wow, even Monreal, in his own way, he's very aggressive and physical himself.
Yeah.
And when balls, when Moses and people like that were getting down into that corner, man, the two of them together were kind of punking them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Monreal was all fired up because Alabama won yesterday, his hometown. Roll Tide.
Alabama.
You know what I mean? Roll Tide from Montreal. Real hyped. Yeah. You know what I mean? Vinger wouldn't let him put on the eye blacks. But, you know, he was out there doing his thing, man. I mean, I love, you got to love him, Ron Morel, because, you know, he gonna try. He not going to go out there and pull a Danielson. Motherfucking shit.
Well, you know, like with Kolasinac, you know, if a guy does happen to kind of get by him a little bit, like Kolasinac can keep up enough that he'll just push the guy and, like, you know, just real professional style. And sometimes
hold on, real savage style. Did you see that motherfucker in the Europa Cup? That motherfucker was throwing them little cologne bashes all over the ground, dude. That fool had me high. We'll get into Europa later, but that motherfucker was throwing fools on the ground, dude, and taking the ball from
I know.
Like, stop fucking with me, okay?
Yeah.
My ball.
You know, some of those, like, like even today, like he wouldn't have got called for fouls against like Moses on a couple of those, except for the fact that he's just so big and rough. Like,
yeah,
you know,
fools
like
fly, dude.
he
Fools
didn't
fly.
even, he didn't even really push him. He just, like, they ran into each other, which you see in soccer all the time, but you know, people fly. You know, it's like,
oh, yeah.
He got hella fired up at one point. He was fired up, man. You see him screaming and shit. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he was real hyped, and anybody else on the planet would have got their fucking foot broke on that challenge. You see that fool? Mm-hmm. He looking around trying to get cars, get fools sent off. He wasn't even, his shit wasn't broke. He popped right up, man. Yeah. I love him. That was an awful challenge by Cahill, but, you know, being blockhead, took it on the chin.
No. Dirty ass David Luiz.
Oh, that was Luiz. My bad. I just don't like Cahill.
Dirty David Luiz. I don't like Cahill either. Shit. He's dirty too. But,
no, that was, yeah, good call. Way to correct me, because I would have got hammered. Dude, did you watch the game, man? This podcast shit ain't easy, okay?
So
what else, dude?
So when I was talking about how he had picked kind of a lighter lineup and stuff like that, you know, it was going to be important. You know, I mean, the one thing that we did have to watch for was, you know, Pedro did get behind the midfielders some. You know, they penetrated a little bit, but, you know, things kind of went in streaks, and I feel like Arsenal's streaks were kind of longer and more sustained at times, as far as, like, threatening, you know. We were getting the ball into position. You know, and we were talking about Bellerin, you know, it's funny, from the midweek game to this game. In the midweek game, I was, like, screaming that... I was screaming that there's no way that this guy is any faster than anybody else in the league. Like, he just, everybody, I was trying to see him run by somebody, and he couldn't run by anybody. And I'm just like, why is he considered so fast? He's not.
Yeah, he did. I saw one stretch in that game against Cologne where he did look really slow. It was like a sprint. But I just think that's the purr effect, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then, you know, what's a trip is then today I gave him credit and also noted that he got behind the defenders several times today. And some of it is him, but I think some of it is tactical. You know, we were sitting back and trying to counter, and it gave Bellerin a little bit more field to try to have to run by fools, and where he could really build up some speed, you know?
No, yeah, totally agree. The only thing with Bellerin, I mean, the thing that I noticed today is he stayed back more than he usually does, and he just picked his moments, you know? He kind of looked like he took a page out of Blockhead's book, where he, you know, Kolasinac, where he was just kind of picking and choosing when to go, but for the most part, they were staying back and protecting, you know, Mustafi and them. I wasn't even going to talk about him, but there's a couple moments there. I'm just like, this motherfucker looks shaky. Look at him.
He does.
All in all, he played good. You know, I mean, we kept a clean sheet at the bridge, but I'm just saying there were certain moments where I was like, look at this fool. He's scrambling around, you know. But anyway.
Hey, check this out, though. Check this out, because I was noting this to myself just thinking about it. But doesn't he kind of remind you of like Koscielny about 3 years ago?
Well, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, yeah, he kind of does.
You know what I mean? I wonder if, like, because Wenger goes for a certain mentality defender that's like willing to like lay it out and kind of be crazy, like, in an athletic sense, like, if you think you can get there, go for it, instead of always playing safe and staying, so I'm just wondering if he's going through like a progression, but then I was also surprised when it was like, oh God, he wants out of here. Okay. I don't know. I don't know.
I didn't know what was going on with that, but yeah, I was gonna compare it to it's like when Koscielny first got to Arsenal and was paired with Per. Like when you're that guy paired with Per, you have a lot more responsibility than you normally do. You always got to be looking over your shoulder to see if Per's gonna get roasted on a over the top ball, and that's how kind of you see it with Holden now. Holden got paired with Per, and Holden was like, he just looked like he was like, fuck.
Oh man,
midweek. And you just got to get used to playing with somebody so slow, so unathletic, and like when Per gets beat with an over the top pass, he don't even run after the ball. Like he runs, like he tries to get an angle, like he runs away from it to get in better position, hopefully to stop it. You know what I mean? Whereas most people with speed, they chase after it, and they catch up with it. But so anyway, that's what I kind of see with Mustafi, even though Per didn't play today. But I just see that kind of shakiness from the back. But enough of that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just say I completely understand, but today I got the feeling like this. I think even with Monreal as the guy right there, just because I love Kolasinac as the wingback, but I think this is the best three that we can put out there right now.
Without a doubt. Well, you can't put Per out there. You can't put Chamber. I don't, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I was just, I just noticed them being, at some points, like I said, we kept a clean sheet. But I mean, I thought the first half, the team, I thought we weathered the storm. It was a professional job by Arsenal, on all levels, tactics, Wenger, the team, being prepared. They just came in there and they just handled their business. We weathered the storm in the first half, and then we actually kind of gained control of the game as far as just, passing the ball. And like, I thought we created the better chances in the first half, and it was perfect,
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
The only thing is we didn't take our chances, but I thought we gained control of the game after an initial Chelsea kind of looked like they were in the mood, and like we just imposed, our game on them. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you saw it.
Yeah, well, hey, I hear you, dog. I hear you.
You know what I mean?
And the thing is, we didn't take a ton of chances, but the chances we took, I thought were mostly pretty quality, like good chances. Some of them just missed the mark. We hit the post twice, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
But the other thing was like you were saying, like we played our game like early, like at the start of the game, Chelsea kind of was taking it to us for a minute. And but we didn't wait too long to kind of get into it. And once we got into it, the one thing I noticed, which I'd like to continue to see, whether people want to call it cheap or not to say, but it was very Barcelona-esque as far as the quick one-touch passes started up all of a sudden. Like it was just bang, bang, bang. And we were just hitting open guys and getting somebody into space where they can put their head up and take a look and try to pick somebody out, And,
definitely.
And that's when it started turning into kind of like Arsenal football for a while. And that's where we were looking our best and stuff.
There was no, oh my gosh, what the fuck are we doing moments. Maybe one, when Pedro got away. But other than that, I just thought usually when we go into these big games away, we're always playing catch up. We never get to a point where we're like in control of the game, really trying to do shit. as far as just controlling the game or, catching them on the counter. And I thought today what was so impressive was the fact that it's like, we weathered the storm, then we took control of the game and controlled it for the rest of that first half. And like I said, the only thing is we didn't take our chances, but all in all, tactics, tremendous. Yeah. I said tremendous like 12 times last week, and that was my first. Actually, that was my second tremendous. That's my third. Anyway, what the fuck? What the fuck is criticizing you and shit? Anyway, let me before we get to the second half, let me just throw something to you about the lineup and the performance in general, just to kind of see what your take is. But we didn't start Sanchez, and I thought from jump that, here we go, this guy fucked up. But it worked out. And do you think the team in general, how we've been hearing there's kind of a chemistry thing, like motherfuckers kind of don't really like Sanchez, and, but do you think the way we played, everybody was responsible, tactically aware, and, just being responsible away from the Emirates? Do you think Sanchez and Ozil not being out there were the cause of that? Because when they're out there, there's a little more jazz improvising, as Wenger likes to say, with those two. You know what I mean? So the shape can kind of get, misshaped, and that's why we get caught on the counter. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth, a thought. Like, I don't know. I mean, I did bring that up last week about Sanchez and stuff, but
right. I'm not saying never start him again. I'm just saying, like, if you can't, if you do start him and he can't play like the way we played today, as far as being tactically aware and keeping shape, then maybe coming off the bench in that situation could be a role for him. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely, and
him and also, shit.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, for me, I guess Ozil against Liverpool was a down game for him. Although, some people may have been able to predict that that's not his kind of game. But for the rest of it, I've actually thought Ozil has fit in pretty good with this squad that didn't have Sanchez out there, but he was. I thought he moves the ball along pretty well with the rest of this crew. I mean, there's times when I know people get frustrated because he gives balls away sometimes and stuff like that. But you and I have always talked about that, like a creative genius. It doesn't always work. It doesn't always work, but his mind is so creative and he knows how to control balls with his feet that I like having Ozil as part of the mix always.
Yeah, definitely. Going forward.
Yeah.
But away to Chelsea, when you need to keep your shape and be responsible and hustle and be physical, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if he's the, it worked out today for us.
Right.
We played a professional, tactically aware game.
No, and know exactly what exactly just happened is that, like, my romantic side of what I love to see of Ozil just came out when you said his name, and I completely wasn't even thinking about what I did think about the lineup today, which you're right. I thought we were a more stout, stronger, willing to put in the hard work kind of a lineup today, than we are a little more flash and, and grace with, Alexis and Ozil.
Definitely.
It was more of a workman's lineup,
Exactly. Yeah. That's all I was saying. So I guess we agree on that. And the second half was to me more impressive because we had to weather Conte. Conte goes in at halftime and he's going to make some adjustments. He's a Italian tactical master, and whatever he did didn't work. You know,
Yeah.
Arsenal dug in harder. We didn't really try to create anything going forward. The guy on the TV kept talking shit about how we're not creating any chances. Meanwhile, I'm sitting there saying, who gives a fuck? It's 0-0 at the bridge and we're hanging in there. And, you know, hats off to Wenger, hats off to the team for, you know, again, for just being professional, just being tactically aware and just being responsible, you know, not bombing forward.
Well,
no stupid shit. Go ahead.
Well, you know, I mean, you could say his one big tactical move was to bring in Hazard, and when Hazard came in, you know, Hazard still, you know, it wasn't a panicky chase of Hazard like we usually have, and you know that was mostly because we had pulled enough guys back on defense that if we just held our shape, he was never in a really threatening area.
Exactly.
You know, he did sink in there a couple times, but I mean, hey, that's expected. I mean, Chelsea's good. You know, I mean,
he's world class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What we did though was really, you know, like we've said, like a broken record, okay? Professional. We handled our business the way a professional team would, the way the critics don't believe we have, you know, Arsenal can't win games like this, you know, or can't even pull results from games like this. Well, we did. We did.
Exactly. So, you know, we know we have the capabilities of doing this. So it should naturally continue, you know, hopefully. Sure. There should be a little optimism. I said coming into this game that this would determine how optimistic I would be going forward. And I'm going to continue with my optimism. Yeah. To continue along with with just, you know, being professional and doing the right thing. I noticed a lot of Arsenal players making professional fouls at right moments and getting yellow cards at the right time and just doing everything they can to keep that clean sheet. So once again, I'm proud of the Gunners.
Yep.
I'm proud of Wenger. I still wouldn't shake his hand because I saw him wiping his nose and shit with his fucking palm, dude. How are you going to wipe your nose with your palm? He's a savage. I love him. He looks very hungry. I don't.
They showed a profile shot of him at one point, and I wrote down, an old man should not be Wenger skinny. But you know, he's now hit the age that he's officially skinny fat. And you know, like the old retired man that's had too many beers and he's on his porch yelling at you guys, "Hey, shut up with all that hubbub in my front yard."
Wenger simple. Wenger will fuck you up. Wenger will fuck you up. Wenger is cut out of wood, dude. Cut out of wood. He will fuck you. He knows jiu-jitsu and shit. Anyway, that'll do it, I think. Were we going to talk about Europa? Some quick thoughts?
You know what? I didn't even get to see the second half of Europa. You know, I was working.
Okay, yeah. Quick thoughts. Blockhead.
And taped the DVR, and you know, but because of the delay, I didn't even get to see the second half and all that.
It's all good. Blockhead came in and wrecked shop. You know,
I saw the shot. Wow.
Yeah, like I said, he was throwing fools onto the ground and just taking the ball from him and running off. So that basically sums up the second half. Like I said, the guy's not bullshitting. It's exactly what we need. He's just raging, dude. He raised up his shirt, like, you know what I mean? I didn't know what it was. It was a Schalke shirt. You know what I mean? Like his old team. He's still down with them and shit. You know what I mean? So I love Blockhead. I'm very happy. Great performance. That'll do it for this week. Thanks for the support. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with this schedule. You know, I got a life. I do shit. So, Fitz, we got a midweek, right? Quickly.
I'll tell you what. No? We got a midweek with Doncaster Rovers in. I think this must be the Carling Cup originally. It's changed names again now. It's like the Carabao Cup or something.
Oh, that's right.
You know,
it's called the Carabao Cup. And
but we got,
what is that, Tuesday or Wednesday?
That's Wednesday.
Okay. And then we go Sunday again or Saturday?
And then we got next Monday, Premier League, West Brom.
Okay, good.
And then Thursday Thursday Europa League.
Okay. So the games are piling up. Hopefully the squad depth lasts. It already looks like we've taken a knock with Welbeck, so we won't even get to find out if Sanchez
doesn't look good. Sanchez will be back in the lineup because it doesn't look good.
And let's just hope he can not try to do too much and stay in his lane. That's what Ramsey did today. That's what Xhaka did today. That's what Bellerin did today. They stayed in their lane and kept it easy and played for the team. So hopefully everybody can do that. Go ahead.
Real quick, just so everybody can have a nice thought, well, I don't know, maybe a sad thought, but when Chelsea had all their little Spaniards out there, I just for a moment thought back to my little partner, Santi Cazorla. I just, my little midfield maestro partner that I miss so much, man. I wish he was there, man.
Right. And Pedro is Mexican. I don't care what anyone says. We'll end it on that note. Thanks for tuning in. Caught in Two Minds. Go to iTunes, subscribe, rate, and review. Leave us a review. Just tell us how shitty we're doing so we can continue to do this.
Man, come on, dog.
Learn from some of our mistakes. But you can catch us on SoundCloud. Hit us up on an email, citmpodcast@gmail. We're both on Twitter. I'm at eMarsho, EMARSHO.
I'm at Gooner Rush. At Gooner Rush.
And at CITM Podcast. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for listening.
Hey, thanks for all the friend requests lately and stuff, man. Appreciate you guys listening, man.
Yeah, definitely.
It's fun, man. Having a great time. Loving it.
Good shit. Let's have a good week, everybody. Get up. And get out,
Yeah.
Get up and get out. But get your dick out of your hand, Stop with the medicine, the medicinal medicine. You know what I mean? and get outside, It ain't too bad. Look at it.
Ain't nothing wrong with out there. No.
It's okay. I'm speaking to myself right now.
Peace!
Peace!
Thank you guys for tuning in to Caught in Two Minds. Please head on over to iTunes and subscribe, rate, and review the show. All feedback is much appreciated. If you would like to contact the show, drop us an email at citmpodcast@gmail.com. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at CITM Podcast, at Gooner Rush, and at eMarshall. That's EMARSHO. The music in this podcast has been provided by Statics. If you like what you hear, be sure to check them out at staticsentertainment.com and follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Statics Music. That's STATX Music. Peace.